I tell people this, if you're used to eating like 1 or 2 big meals a day and then kind of snacking throughout the day, I would say start with 4. If you find yourself not able to eat all the food or you're finding yourself hungry, bump it up to 5, right? If you're still feeling that way, you can bump it up to 6. It's not a big deal. The idea behind 4 to 6 meals a day is this food timing. So it's about every 2 to 4 hours we want to be eating. Okay, what happens is our body is actually very, very smart. It will learn very quickly. So the problem is let's say you're like my brother, okay? My brother wakes up and drives a forklift from 5 a.m. until noon. Obviously at 5 a.m. he ain't eating nothing, right? And there's nothing on the forklift, so he doesn't eat anything until noon, okay? He'll go out to lunch. He eats about 20, 35 minutes for lunch. Where do you think he goes? Whatever's convenient, right? Because so fast food. Goes back to work, works for another 5 hours, goes home. He has a huge dinner because he's starving. Watches TV for an hour, goes to bed. Not unlike most people, right? Some of you are going, oh shit, that's me too, right? That's fine. So here's the issue though, is our body, if we're not eating every 2 to 4 hours, our body doesn't get used to that, so it wants to hold everything that we put into it because it does not know when it's going to get fed again. So the idea is we want to teach our body how to burn what we put into it. So it's about a 2 to 4 hour window that you want to eat in, okay? That's what we want to be doing. So if you are somebody who works 18 hours a day, 4 meals is probably not going to be enough for you. You're probably going to want to bump that out so you can eat every 2 to 4 hours, right? If you're somebody who loves their sleep and they're only up 10 hours a day, you probably can wait with 4, right? I don't know how you can sleep for 14 hours a day, but I'm just throwing it out. Now, all you're going to do, so here's what you're going to do. So let's say, for instance, for you 6-week people, we give you have to pick out a protein and a fat for all 4 of your meals, okay? So all we're going to do is go down the list. So somebody name a protein that they like. Chicken. Good. So we're going to have chicken for breakfast because we're awkward. All right. And now, what goes good with that?
Avocado.
Avocado. Perfect. There we go. So you're just going to go down the protein list, pick one you like. Go down the fat list, pick one you like. Chicken and avocado. Meal 1 is done. Let's say meal 2, because we're even more awkward, we're going to do steak and peanut butter. Because why not? That sounds American. Let's do a protein shake. And then for dinner, let's do salmon and
cashews.
Cashews. Here you go. Sure, let's get weird. All right, so you can literally do this. Now, what I would recommend for people to do is only make 2 or 3 of these maximum. The reason I say that is if you try to make 42 different meals a week, you're going to spend far too much time in the kitchen, and you're going to hate your life very quickly, okay? If you just keep it down to 2 or 3 days, that's enough variety where you're not going to get used to it. So what I typically do when I do this is I make a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then Sunday, I kind of, like, I don't work on Sundays. Well, at least I can be home, so I kind of just cook my own food on Sundays, right? And I use Sundays as my prep day. But I typically only go 2 days. Why? Because I'm really boring and I hate cooking. So I will cook literally pounds of chicken at once, and then it's just in the fridge, okay? So the reason that we have you meal plan and prepare the day before. Preparing the day before is key, or the week before, or whatever. So a lot of people will prepare 2 or 3 days in advance. The reason that that's so important is, like I talked about with my brother, McDonald's, I literally get the privilege of staring at their drive-thru all day long. I've never once seen it empty ever in the history of McDonald's, okay? Nobody wants to eat there. It's convenient, all right? It's $1 billion with a B dollar industry because you can get a Big Mac and fries in 5 minutes. Right? Now, if I came into your work and I said, hey, this meal is going to help you burn fat, build muscle, feel great, and get you closer to your goals, do you want to eat this or do you want to go to McDonald's? 99% of you are probably going to choose the meal, right? But the problem is you didn't bring it with you. Okay. Planning ahead is the #1 problem that most people have with their diet, okay? So, understand that. That is the #1 thing. The second is portion control, which is we already give you macros. So we've taken away the 2 hardest parts is how much and oh crap, what do I do for lunch, right? Those are the number 1 and 2 problems with people's diets. So the goal is to prepare ahead of time. Now, if you know that you're going to be home for dinner every night, do you need to pre-cook dinner? No, you can still have, home-cooked meals, but I recommend always having stuff pre-cooked and backed up. right? And then go through your day the next day. So like days like today when I'm here from 4:30 in the morning till now until we get out, right? If I can go home a couple times, but otherwise, if I don't have meals with me, I'm not eating. So I bring a lot of food with me, okay? Because I know that it's important to me. So that's something that I do. If you're somebody who works from 9 to 5, you're probably gonna have to bring a couple meals with you, right? Like that's just life. If you're someone who has to cart the kids from X, Y, and Z practice all afternoon, you're probably gonna wanna have some stuff with you. Now, this is the one question I always get. Protein shakes, right? You are allowed to have them, but they have to be protein shakes. They cannot be meal replacement shakes. So Body by D, Shakeology, some other ones. Herbalife, all that stuff. Sorry. It's a meal replacement shake, okay? Protein powder, okay? So we have on the site, and I'll post it tonight, where you can get 25% off. I'll show you how to do it. There's a video. It's really cheap. You can go to GNC and pay double if you want. They love challenge time over there. But if you want to save a bunch of money, you can go online. I'll show you how to do it. I'll post that tonight when I get home. But we want protein powder, okay? We want whey isolate. Do not go grab the sand tasting stuff at Meijer that's like $10. It's disgusting, and all you'll do is fart. Okay? Now,
Good story.
I don't have a filter. I am. All right.
That's why we have editing.
So, does everybody kind of understand meal planning? Right? So you're just picking foods you like and putting them together. The only thing that's going to change, Amanda might have the same exact meal plan as mom, but the numbers are going to be different. Okay? So let's say mom's doing all the cooking. And all she would have to do is just divide up a different amount for her, right? So it's all individually based on you. The only thing that's going to change on your meal plan is how much, and you're going to have those numbers very shortly, okay? By Friday, you'll have your exact numbers. So if you want to get ahead, a little bit ahead of the game, I'm going to warn you right now, if you try to go to Meijer on Sunday night, you're going to be out of everything you want, okay? It's always funny. I always go out there Sunday night and take pictures because it's always empty. It's hilarious.
It's true.
It's
literally, you go to the veggie
we will
section,
wipe
it's
out
cleaned out.
It will literally
Cleaned
be
out.
empty.
Last January, they moved the protein shakes to the center aisle because they were selling so fast.
Yeah, so we do that stuff. It's funny. So be aware that if you want to get a game ahead, make your meal plan in the next couple days and get to Meijer before the weekend. If you don't, it's on you. Okay? The good thing about Holland is it has 27 grocery stores. So, what I'm going to explain next really quick is the last part, which is just really the main difference between the programs. Okay, so again, if you're on orientation, I recommend you sign up for the challenge. If you still have questions about it, come see me afterwards. I will gladly talk you through it. Okay, it's just going to be way better for you. You're going to get way better experience if you do it, and you get 3 more weeks out of it. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? Like you're going to actually develop habits. So I always recommend you do it. If you really don't want to do it, that's cool. You'll just make me sad. So. Otherwise, the 6-week program, you're going to have a game plan every single week of what day you're doing. So you'll have things on your macro sheet that we send back to you. Things called deplete, things called low carb, things called deplete minus 20. Don't read too much into it, okay? Don't overthink it. All we're going to do is tell you which day to follow. I'll give you a spoiler alert. The first week is all deplete. For you, that means 0 carbs. Why do I tell you this ahead of time? Because I know that if I'm starting a diet on Monday, what's everybody doing this weekend? right. So everybody's questions sort of going to be through the roof. Now, so the one thing I didn't say that now that I'm thinking about that I'm reminded of is with direct macro counting, the only thing that you're counting is the food that's on the list. So if you go through your proteins, right? Let's say that you look at steak, right? So there's a lean steak and it has 23 grams of protein for every 4 grams of fat. We don't count the fat. Okay, you only count it if it's on the list under what it is. So peanut butter is the perfect example. Okay, peanut butter has protein, fat, and carbs in it. But because 70% of it is fat, we only count the fat. So if it's on the list, it only counts under what it is, right? The only exception to that rule is eggs. And it will say it right on there. Eggs count as both. Okay? But I'm going to warn you right now, that's going to be where you make a mistake. Okay? Is you're just counting under the list. If you vary off the list,
Don't.
You're in the 6-week program. You are doing it wrong. Do not ask
Stick
if
to
I
the
can
list.
have X, Y, Z, P, D, or Q. Do not send me pictures of the back of pizza rolls and say, can I have these? Okay? Stick to the list. I promise you, if you stick to the list for the first 2-3 weeks, you're going to get very comfortable with what we're doing very quickly. It will not be that bad. You're still eating carbs. You're just eating them indirectly. Okay? So if I tell you you're doing deplete for week 1, all that means is you're not eating any direct sources of carbs. Okay? So you're still going to get some, but you're just not counting them, which is the best thing about carbs. I don't have to count them. It's like they're not even there, right? But that's going to be your week 1. I'm going to warn you right now, it sucks. But the reason we do it, again, is because I know what you're going to do to yourself this weekend. Okay? Your glycogen stores are going to be super high. We want to get those out. We want to get them back down to 0 so that we can manipulate them the rest of the challenge. Okay? That's why we're doing it. Now, the 12-week people. You guys do not get the same privilege. You guys will have carbs, but your trade-off is you guys get a cheat meal every other week, whereas the 6-week people get one every week. So every Saturday night, we will give you a cheat meal. Your first week, it will be Sunday, so you get a full week of deplete. But after that, it will be Saturday nights. Why? Because that's the night that most people are the most social and they're going to screw it up anyway. Okay? So, for your cheat meal, the number one question I get is, can I have booze? Right? I love alcohol. Help. We ask you to do one thing. We ask you to get through the first 2 weeks without booze. If you can't go 14 days, God help you. You need to be able to get through 14 days, okay? So alcohol, the calories and everything else are not what's bad about it, okay? It's the chemicals and the cortisol and what that does to your makeup in building fat and how it inhibits fat burning, okay? That's why alcohol is bad. I don't care if you're drinking Miller High Life Light or craft beer, okay? I don't care about the calories. I care about what it does to the chemical makeup of your body and how it inhibits fat burning, okay? So that being said, once cheat meals switch and you're on Saturday nights for the 6-week people or 12-week people, you're fine. You just have to make it 2 weeks. Then you can have, for your cheat meal, it's not a cheat night, it's not a cheat day, it is a cheat meal, okay? Do not start your day at 9 a.m. with a cinnamon roll and say, hell yeah, right? And then send me a nasty email the next day when you weigh 17 more pounds. Don't do that. So, the cheat meal is designed to boost your metabolism back up, right? So our body's going to get used to anything we do to it, right? So again, our glycogen stores we're going to deplete them, we're going to be low. Well, that carb meal is going to spike our metabolism back up, right? So it's actually really important to have your cheat meal, okay? The problem is, don't let it turn into a cheat everything, okay? So what I typically tell people is wait until 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, especially if you're a drinker. Well, the later you can wait, the better, okay? Because again, if I start at 5 with dinner, well, I guarantee you by 11 I'm hungry again, right? And I'm still thirsty. So I'm probably having more than I should, right? So limit it to one meal, okay? So if you're a social person, try to hold off as long as you can, and then when you wake up, you're right back on track, okay? Do not let it turn into a cheat weekend. Do not let it turn into, I'll start again Monday. I promise you, that will screw you up so bad. I had 2 clients, they were a couple, husband and wife. They did a 6-week challenge. Same exact build. I mean, they look like twins. I couldn't believe it. They were actually married. They looked identical. The only difference between the 2 of them, he wouldn't give up his vodka tonic every night. She gave up booze. She lost 20 pounds. He lost 6. Okay? The only correlation there was, I mean, there might have been a metabolism thing, but they looked identical, so I doubt it that it was that severe. I guarantee you it was alcohol. Okay? So, is there a certain alcohol to stay away from, to go to? No, it doesn't matter. If you're having a cheat meal, enjoy what you would have, right? It's your cheat meal. You've earned it. It's designed to be a break. So if pizza and craft beer is your thing, cool. If wine and pasta is your thing, cool. Whatever your thing is, I don't care. Do what you do, right? Just get done with it and stop. Right? So, I don't need pictures on the Facebook page of you at 2 in the morning saying hashtag cheat meal, blacked out drunk. Now,
We wouldn't tell you that if it hasn't happened.
the last thing I'm gonna do with you. So, Christina, did we pass out wine and gold cards? No. Okay. So let's have all 3 of you do that. So they're gonna go around and hand out some stuff to you. It's a Y card and a gold card. But the first thing I want you guys to do is you guys are gonna be able to write on my wall. So over here, are Sharpies. This wall is coming down next week, so please don't write anything inappropriate on it, and don't write on the wrong wall. This wall only, don't write on the posters. But I want you to think about 3 things. So the first thing is a barrier. So what over the next 6 or 12 weeks do you think is going to be the biggest barrier between you and having success on our program? Okay? For mine is right here. Good enough is not good enough, right? I get to a certain point and I'm like, that's good enough. I look good enough. Not good enough, right? That's my biggest barrier, is getting satisfied, okay? This one is probably my favorite. To be as awesome as my dog thinks I am. That's my favorite thing ever, okay? But there's a lot of really cool ones up here. So write whatever you think is going to be your barrier. We have Sharpies right there. Write it all over the wall. That wall's coming down in a week anyway. And that's really a cool thing. Now, the second thing I want you to do is the goal card, okay? So on the back of the goal card, write your initial. If you are doing the 6-week program, write down a goal that you think you can hit in 6 weeks. So whether it be a pant size, whether it be a strength thing, I want to be able to do a push-up. Whether it be I want to wear a size blah. Whether it be I want to lose X amount of weight, I want to lose X amount of inches, I want to drop X% body fat. Something that you think you can attain in 6 weeks. Write it on there, and then next week we will actually start putting them up on the goals thing. So as you can see, our goal board over there's got a lot of space left on it. But we want to put those up there so that way every time you come in, you're reminded of it, okay? So when you turn in your paper, if you want to hang them up, cool. If you don't, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with them anyway. So the other card is the most important card, and that is the why card, okay? This is the most important part of what we do here, is keeping you focused on why you're actually doing this, why this time is going to be different, why this time you are not going to go backwards. So I'm going to share with you my why so that you have an idea of what we're looking for here. All right? So if you look at these over here, there's one that says 911440. I have no idea what that means, but I guarantee you the person who wrote it does. If you can find mine up there, it says, I never want my body to be the reason I can't. Very, very simple why, right? You might not know what it means. For me, when I was growing up, I played football all the way from Pop Warner through high school. And my mother weighed over 300 plus pounds for most of my life, okay? She, in the last 10 years, has had gastric bypass surgery, 1 knee replacement with a second on the way, multiple foot surgeries, herniated discs, toe surgeries, and everything else stemming from obesity. When we used to go on vacations, she had to buy G-plane tickets. When I would go to sport, when I had sporting events, she was the fat lady next to the bleachers because she couldn't walk up there. Okay? When we go to weddings, first thing she'd look for is a place to sit down. Right? My brother is a couple years younger than me. He's now has 2 degenerating discs in his back. He's held over 300 pounds on his frame for half of his life. And he's not 30. Okay? I have watched obesity cripple the 2 people I love the most in this world. Okay? When I have kids, God help me someday, I never want my body to be the reason I can't do anything. If I want to go to an event, I never want my body to be the reason I can't do anything. That's why it's so important to me. So, I don't know what yours is. It might be your family, it might be your spouse, it might be self-confidence. I don't care what it is, but I want you to really think about that. And you don't have to write it down here, but write it down. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to take out your phone. Okay, and you don't have to do it here, but if you want to, cool. And then take a picture of it. And then set it as the background of your phone. The average American looks at their cell phone 23 times a day. I guarantee if you're staring at your why 23 times a day, it's going to be real freaking hard to cheat. If you're staring at, let's say it's your kids, and you're staring at a picture of your kids 23 times a day, how hard is it going to be to go eat those Pop-Tarts? How hard is it going to be to skip that workout? How hard is it going to be to not prep your meals? Okay? What we do here is we know one thing. If I can fix this, the rest is easy. But this has to change first. Okay? I promise you, I will do whatever it takes to help every single one of you. You just have to ask. I have never said no to anybody for anything ever when it comes to helping them get to where they get to. Okay? I have taken people out for lunch. I have met with people at midnight. I have met with people anywhere, anytime. I've had people call me crying. I don't care. Whatever it is, I will help you if you ask. I will get you to where you want to get to. Why? Because it means a lot to me. Because I've watched it cripple people And I don't ever want that to happen to you. So, before you leave, okay, here's what we're gonna do, is Kylie is going to be doing pictures. If you're in a 6-week challenge, you need to get your pictures done, just go over by the office, she'll take care of it. If you're in the 12-week challenge, you can come in anytime throughout the week that Christina's available. She doesn't know this yet, but she's gonna post the hours that she's gonna be available this week on Facebook.
I already did that.
You already did that? See, she's a step ahead of me, that's why I hired her. All right, so you can come in anytime you want throughout the week and get those pictures done. Just make sure you get them done before Monday. 6-week people, I want you to get them done. The last thing I'm gonna go over is how to measure. Okay, Brittany's gonna be over here with the tape measures. I have that, thank you. So, if you wanna measure here, cool. If you'd rather do it when you come in for your first workout, that's fine, okay? If you'd rather come in sometime throughout the week and do it, that's fine. It's up to you, just get it done before Monday and before you start, okay? So I'm gonna show you where we measure really quickly. So grab that sheet out that I showed you, the challenge evaluation form. You fill out the top part. Your weight, use the same scale, okay? You do not have to use our scale. We have one in the back if you want to. But use your own scale if you're going to, just be consistent, okay? Whatever scale you use, don't use different scales. It's gonna piss you off and make you really happy, okay? Well, the two things are gonna happen, okay? So make sure you're just consistent with the scale you use. Weigh yourself every Friday morning, okay? Friday morning before you've eaten everything. Okay? You will consume a lot of food, so be aware of that. Now, body fat percentage. There's 2 machines up here that will help you do that. Brittany will be, okay, Brittany, are you gonna be over there?
Oh, here, over there.
Okay, so Brittany's gonna be over here by the cubbies. She'll show you how to use those machines. Okay, it's very, very simple. And it takes about 30 seconds. It'll give you a rough estimation of your body fat percentage. Okay, it's a really important number to have at least an idea. Your inches, this is where you guys are coming in. So, you are all in charge of measuring yourself. Why? Because I don't want to do it. No, I'm just kidding. If I measure you, the problem is that you go home and measure yourself at the end of week 1. Well, if you measure differently than I do, like I had one lady who, she was so excited because she lost 17 inches her first week, and I was like, you'd be dead. Well, congratulations. So ultimately, if you're going to do it consistently wrong, at least you're going to do it consistently wrong, right? So you're going to do your own inches, so I'm going to show you how to do it. I always recommend people do it 3 times through and take the average. Okay, that way if you screw up really bad, you won't feel that bad if you average them out, right? So your chest is going to be underneath your arms. Arms are hanging down. Biggest part of your chest, yes, women, that includes the girls. Okay? So biggest part of the chest, arms down. Right arm. The reason we only do one arm and one leg is because it's really easy. I'll explain in a minute. So right arm, you just pull it tight. We're not flexing. We're just loose arm to the side, biggest part of the arm. Same thing with the leg, biggest part of the thigh. Okay? Now, the arm and the leg we times by 2. Why? Because we have 2 of them. Okay? If you don't have 2 of them, don't times it by 2. Okay? Waist. Waist, this is the only tricky one. So your waist, if I go like this, where does it crease? That's the smallest part between the sternum and the belly button is what we want. So for me, it's about right here. I then put my tape measure right there. That's my waist. Belly button, real easy. Find your belly button. Okay? If you don't know where it is, the hole or the outie, depending on whatever it is you have. Hips include the butt. So biggest part of the butt. Okay? For me, it doesn't matter what I do. This never shrinks. It's a curse. Okay? And then that's it. And then you add them up, and those are your total inches. So every single week on your report, you're going to have to fill that out, okay? But this is going to give you your starting numbers, and then at the end, you'll do your ending numbers. Every single week, you do not have to do your body fat percentage, but you will have to weigh and measure yourself. That's what you turn in that report to your coach. That's part of the information, okay? We want to make sure that every week you're doing phenomenal, okay? So you're going to send a report in to your coach every single week, okay? It's really awesome. I really like reading them. Some of the other stuff that those reports have on it. How many times I work out? Did I cheat? How bad did I cheat? Apparently that question needed to be added. Okay? And then there's some other mindset questions in there as well. So just be aware of that you will have to fill those out every week. But the starting information is really something you want to do. So if there's a really big line tonight and you don't want to hang out for an hour, I totally get it. Just make sure you come in sometime before Monday and get your measurements done. If you get through orientation tonight and you go home and watch the videos and read the stuff and you still feel like I'm speaking a completely different language, I have another orientation on Saturday you can come to. And then if you still have questions at the end of that, I will gladly sit down with you and help you with whatever you need. But ultimately, use the Facebook group, email me as much as you need to, but I try to keep my email for like personal stuff, right? If it's, can I eat broccoli? Ask that on the Facebook page, okay? Don't ask me that. Ask me like personal stuff if you need to. So if there's not, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be available for questions. Okay, so if you have any questions, if you're doing the 3-week and want to do the challenge, I'd recommend going and seeing Christina right now before the line gets really crazy. Everybody go. There we go. All right. So, and then for everybody else, if you want to start measuring and doing all your pictures and everything, cool. If you want to just schedule your first workout and do your measurements and stuff later, cool. If you're a member, you're good to
So
go.
did you get, I was actually just posting a
And
post,
other than
so
that,
you'll be
have a great
in
evening. Thank you for
the
coming.
6-week January, so it's FBC.
No, we're at 12 weeks.
Okay.
So what when you go to there's the info.
So the
and
info page is where you'll see all the community page is where you'll just see all the
Is this the one? This is the only one that I got.
So yeah, click here in your little box right here. And then,
Well, I mean,
hang on, I'm sorry, I used my iPhone, so the info, yeah.
I don't know where to go, but I think they're asking the same thing.
So here's all
We don't know
the-
what we're doing on our
here's all the
phones
files.
or Facebook. I will see that.
There's like, there was only one file, and there's only one file that just says
The phase 1 page just got created, so they might still be up there.
Because Christine said she also posts her hours. She was making an hour.
I'm in the phase 2 group too, but I know phase 2. So I know phase 2 has all the documents, but Jamie just created phase 1.
So stuff is in here.
It will be.
But we're not missing it. It's
No.
just not here.
Right.
Okay, I thought I was special.
Okay.
No. So I know that the 6-week site has all the documents in phase 2, but I think she just created phase 1. So you're not missing.
It doesn't really, we can't find anything.
Yeah. No, it's all
That would
there.
explain it.
And you know, I mean, if you've done a challenge going into phase 1, proving you.
We've never done one.
Oh, you haven't, but you're client.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why you need phase 1. Okay. Well, okay, that's fine. You guys will have, you know, I mean, you guys will never have the joy of having experienced a deep breathing.
A what?
I'm currently after post-holiday. It sucks. But,
So what do we do?
I suppose I can turn this on.